Good day, teacher. Good day, classmates. Today, we tackle about portfolio assessment. What is portfolio? Portfolio is a systematic process and purposeful collection of student work to document the student learning progress, effort, and achievement towards the attainment of learning outcomes. It is a systematic process that follows a well-organized collection of products of student work. Portfolio assessments have been used for large-scale assessment and accountability purposes, for purposes of school-to-work transitions, and for purposes of certification. For example, portfolio assessments are used as a part of the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards assessment of expert teachers. Why use portfolio? Portfolio gives students the opportunity to direct their own learning. Students can assess their own learning and decide which items best represents their achievement and growth. Next, portfolios can be used to determine students' level of achievements. It allows students to present a holistic view of their academic achievements, skills, and outcomes. Next, portfolios can be used to understand how students think, reason, organize, investigate, and communicate. It can provide insight into students' reasoning and intellectual competencies by documenting students' progression of thought and work in achieving their learning goals. Next, portfolios can be used to communicate students' efforts, progress towards accomplishing learning goals, and accomplishments. It allows students to present their work as a whole in relation to standards and criteria to peers, teachers, parents, college admission officers, and so forth. Last, portfolios can be used to evaluate and improve curriculum and instructions. It provides a broad view on the effectiveness of the curriculum and instruction, thereby allowing teachers to improve and enhance their instructional methods and curriculum materials. There are different types of portfolios that we'll encounter on assessing the performance approach in the classroom. This is depending on the purpose and context of the portfolio, which are aligned to the learning competencies of the course of the study. The following are the types of portfolio that is used in the teaching and learning assessment. First, showcase portfolio. This type of portfolio is based on the student's personal criteria rather than the criteria of their teachers. It is designed to display a learner's best quality of work. This might be to highlight student success or to showcase a variety of accomplishments a student has achieved over a period of time. In showcasing a student's work, this portfolio allows them to describe and tell their own story. Second, documentation portfolio. This portfolio displays changes and accomplishments related to academic performance over time. It is to highlight the development and improvement of student learning during a given period of time. It often contains a range of artifacts from brainstormed lists to rough drafts to finished products. The third, process portfolio. This shows the steps and or the results of a completed project or task as the primary goal of this portfolio. It is similar to documentation portfolio, in which it contains all the evidences required to prove the learning outcomes in the given time. In addition, it integrates reflection and higher order cognitive activities. Process portfolio often contains documentation of reflection, such as learning logs, journals, and diaries. The fourth one is the product portfolio. The product portfolio is similar to the process portfolio except that its focus is on the end product rather than on the which process of the product was developed. It demonstrates a student's best work. This type of portfolio is typically used for interview. It is more of a summative assessment and has no reflection on the learning process. The last one is the standard-based portfolio. This collects evidence that links students' achievement to particular learning standards. It focuses on specific standards that are predetermined by the teacher and discussed to the students at the start of the school year. Students will gather evidence of accomplishments for each of the standards and present these output clusters that relate to the standards given.
Okay, so good evening once again. So, in addition to our topic, which is assessment portfolio, so there are 8 elements of portfolio. So, first is the cover sheet or letter. The second is the table of contents. The third one is work samples. The fourth is dates of all sample works to facilitate evidence of growth over time. And next is the drafts. Then self-assessment, and the last one is future goals and other comments and assessments. So cover letter, this is creatively includes the nature of students for groups work and could be in a form of a letter. It also reflects the progress of learners as it summarizes the evidence of the students. So these are the samples of cover letter. So there you can put for a cover letter or so um, you going to put your name or the name of your group, the grade or your level, the subject or course. So the purpose. So what's the purpose of our portfolio and type of portfolio? And of course, we must put the date and section. So the next one is the table of contents. So table of contents, this includes the title of each work sample of its page number. So just like for example, so if we're going to have an activity, so in every activity there should be a title. So we will include that in our table of contents. Um, so that if someone would see to it that they would know what's inside of the portfolio. Then next is the sample work. So these entries which are to be included in the portfolio which can be categorized as core. So sample which are needed to be included, and optional, it is optional for students' preference on what to include. So the core are the basic elements required for each student and serves as basis decision in assessing the student's work. Then second is the date. So dates, specific dates have to be included for all entries to facilitate evidence of growth over time. So meaning, every time we're going to have an activity, we must put a date of our portfolio. So that we will going to know if kanus na to siya gibuhat, and of course, it would also one of the evidence of having kind of that activity. And the next is the draft. So draft is the written products or even the seminal attempts in writing the write-ups for the portfolio and revise the version based on the correct version. So meaning, so we will going to include our drafts in the portfolios for us to review of what needs to be revised. Then next is the self-assessment. So self-assessment, this is written by the students or the group member, which could be in terms of self-reflection and analysis or form of insight. So um, we already practice this when if we're going to assess ourselves. So we our instructor let us to create some self reflections like analysis or insight. So also we will going to include that in our portfolio. The next is future goals. So this is based on the students or group current achievements, interest, and progress. So, and the last one is other comment and assessment. So this may came from the teacher, cooperative learning groups, and other interested parties such as parents. So if ever our instructor or our parents has a comment, so um, we will also include this to our portfolio. So that's gonna be all for the elements of portfolio.
That would be all. Thank you.